What is good with everyone out there in our MNC family? I'll say. I think this is going in basically to season two for us. I think we can say MNC family out there. Hopefully, everything is going good for you. Everyone's had a great week. I just got a notification we are live on YouTube now, so that's great. Hopefully, everyone's had a good start to this October month. CJ, how you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm doing great. Doing great, man. Just relaxing right now. The NBA preseason is already underway. About 2 weeks away.
Two
Yeah,
weeks.
like 2.5 weeks away from the start of the season. Just let everybody know we're going to do a Twitter space on that Tuesday, the 24th, uh, for the first game. Lakers and the Nuggets, and then the
Great first game.
Warriors and then the Suns for the night.
Warriors and Suns.
Yeah, so we'll be live. We'll be live for both of those games via Twitter Space. So
Yes.
we'll continue to promo that as the weeks go on. But just giving everybody a quick little PSA. But yeah, I'm doing good, man. Just watch some football, obviously throughout the day, and yeah, man, this is ready to talk some basketball now.
Of course, the Cowboys, I don't have it on, but they're playing now, so I may be looking at my phone a little bit, getting some updates. May turn it on after a while. But yeah, the week's been good. It's been adventurous as always. For my other podcast, the Cats Chat, it was an interesting week. Of course, last Sunday, and I talked about it a little bit, we've got to stream live a gentleman here in our local hometown. He's a 3-star recruit on 24/7 Sports. Committed to South Carolina. We got to stream that, be a part of that, which was fun. Then Wednesday's episode, we had a Corbin, Kentucky standout high school who's committed to Kentucky as well to play football. And then honestly, today we actually did a recording with his twin brother that's committed to Kentucky. So kind of weird doing a recording this early. His dad actually joined with us, but we'll be airing that on Wednesday. It's just the way it worked out on scheduling. So it's kind of hard to do a recording this early to talk about acting like it's in the future, but I think we're going to do it a little bit different when we do the stream, just more or less come live, talk normal, because what we had been doing in the past is just opening up with the recording and then us come on after it. I think we're going to go live ourselves and talk about the show, do everything, be like, and this is our interview we had with him, and then kind of go into it that way.
Yeah.
Kentucky football,
It's Georgia, man.
Still, I mean, at the end of the day, Georgia was supposed to beat us. I thought we had a chance, but we had to play a perfect game in that game. And the very first series, very first quarter, we were getting penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, and just shot ourselves in the foot, and there was no coming back when you're down to Georgia. So, I mean, it got out of hand quick, but that's why they're the number one team, or was the number one team. I think somehow you beat a team, you score 51 points, and you fall 3 point spots back. I don't know how that happens. But other than that, it's been fun. Check our show out Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Cats Chat Pod on all social medias, podcasts as well. So with those promos going out through there, of course, CJ, I never can say it correctly. The NBA tryouts for the esports. When's that again?
Yeah, that's Thursday and Friday. It's Become a Pro Series, NBA 2K League. It's on Thursday and Friday at 4 o'clock.
I think I might be more excited for this for you.
5 o'clock.
Because I've been watching you on YouTube just random times, even at work, be like, you know what? And sadly, I get into it by watching because I'm like, okay, I've watched enough of where you play that I kind of know what you're going to do without hearing any audio because I'm like at work just trying to let Cats Chat Pod, the MNC Hoops, get some views on YouTube a little bit. And then I'll switch over to CJ versus the world. And I'm like, okay, he's about to – okay, I can tell they're playing a 1-2-2 defense. All right, he's coming over here, rotating here, getting that rebound. Oh, he's about to kick out to here. Like, I'm totally, like, strategizing into the game while watching you on YouTube. And I got to step back and be like, wait a second, this is YouTube. Calm down, man. But it's a lot of fun watching it.
I mean, and it's like that's why I like playing 2K because you could really. I mean, it's a mental game, obviously. Mm-hmm. It keeps your mind fresh, and there's a lot of people that it's like 50-year-olds that still play because if they're not physically, if they physically can't do it, their mind you don't lose that IQ. So you just got the half the battle is just making the right player, because it is expensive to make a player. With the microtransactions that they implemented into the game, it could definitely it's to make a player and to maintain them, get the overall up. Then they got boosts to enhance shot probability and things of that nature, stamina. So that's really the battle. But other than that, I mean, once you really get over that, then it's basketball, and just find the right team. Those are the two key things, man. Finding 4 guys that really understand the game of basketball, bro. Like, it's because I mean, you step into a game though sometimes. There used to be times where I step into the rec. It's like it's called like obviously called short for like recreational, and go against 4 people I don't know. That's like 4. It could be 4 headaches, or it could be 4 people that you could potentially be hooping with for the next 2-3 years. So
right.
just that finding a team. Been very fortunate to find really develop like a solid group chat over the last I want to say about 6 years or so. Got about maybe like 20-30 guys that I run with. So we're all on the same page of how we make our bills, what we do, and how we want to be successful. So it's been fun. But Thursday, a 2K league to become a pro series, you got to be top 3 in your position to become draft eligible. So I made a big man, glass cleaning and turret, Brett, shoot as well. So we'll see what happens. But it's kind of like you going into the fire. You can't bring your team with you. It's versus you and 4 people you never ran with before going up against a random team as well. So I guess they just want to see how you can fit with other new people and how can they be adapt and your game still be successful if you're not running with people you're accustomed to. So I mean, I'm used to doing that. Like I've been doing that for a while. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait. I'm definitely excited.
So I'm breaking this down, I guess, with you, sadly, and it's hilarious, and I love it, actually, all at the same time. So do you think, like, this next few days you might need to play some defense as far as man-to-man defense, because you may not have 4 guys that like to play that 1-2-2 with you, because you don't know what's going on? Because I'll be honest with you, one of the things that really got me to watch and really kind of start paying attention to your all's game is whoever's on the top of that 2 of the 1-2-2 behind you, because you're the big man, you all communicate well, even though I can't hear what you guys are communicating, because those will be times where he'll get to the bottom corner or the baseline corner there for you while you can recover. I'm like, oh, man, they got some communication going on with this.
Yeah. Well, the good part about it, you could go into the game chat and be able to converse and talk to your teammates. So that's the best part. Even though it won't be like in a group chat like I'm used to. But you can go into the game chat. Everybody, I'm pretty sure. I mean, if you're smart and you want to win, you would have it in the game chat. Be able to talk to everybody and communicate. Because communication, that's the key. That's so key. Just like in real life. I mean, especially defensively. Just understanding where to be at. You're saying you're here. If you're not there, you're not saying anything, and everybody's just guessing. That's how guys get open.
Oh yeah.
Backdoor cuts. That's you got 2 people on one guy, and now you're like, what happened? And then there's a conversation after the person scores. You can avoid that with communication as the play's going on. So, I'm going to be in the game chat, talking, communicating. That's why I'm going live, too. So I'm trying to add as many people, I think it's about like 25 or 26 2K League teams. So I'm going to try to get add a couple people on Twitter, see if they stop by. I mean, it's a big event. They've done it for the last couple of years, but with work and things like that, I haven't been able to do it.
Right.
So, now I got some time after 5, and just we'll try it out, see what's up.
Sounds good. Good luck to you. I'm engaged.
Appreciate that.
So let's get into, because, man, this whole esports is a whole new level that has not really been unlocked. I didn't realize there was like esports, really social medias, Twitter accounts or X accounts, everything for each team going on here. I've kind of tapped into some of that since this has been going on our MSN or MS MSC. I about said MSN. MNC Hoops. There we go. Twitter account, and seeing some of these different teams and the logos that they come up with. Some of them are doing like this shadow outline of players and like, who's this player? I'm like, who can even get this? So there's a whole platform for just this esports stuff. And talked to a guy at work the other day, just randomly. He had a shirt on that said, I think, what was it, Cavaliers or something, but I didn't recognize the logo. I was like, hey, man, just wondering what that logo is on your shirt. He said, oh, it's the esports. It's for like, what he said, Dungeons and Dragons of esports or something like that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's out of my league, but okay. And then, we got to talking. I mentioned you with your NBA and everything that you got going on with this and stuff. He goes, oh, wow, that's awesome. And he told me we got a local community college here, and he's trying to actually make a esports team here for the college. I'm like, that's cool, man. Like, it's really a whole different world out there for that hasn't even been tapped in really for its limitations. But I guess let's get into the NBA and let's get into some of our subjects or our topics we want to get into today. So I didn't know. It caught me by surprise, but we had some preseason games going on today. CJ messaged and said one of the games, can't remember who it was, but it was finished in a tie, of course. But we'll do some recap, and I want to hear basically from you, CJ. Let me know what all went on, and we'll look at some of these stats and see if we can kind of dissect a little bit of how the teams may possibly go when we get into the regular season.
Yeah, so the first preseason game of the 23-24 season, the Mavericks and Timberwolves, they were in Abu Dhabi, and for the last week, and they had their first game October 5th. It was a good game. It was a good game. The one thing that impressed me was the Timberwolves. I mean, they didn't have Anthony Edwards in the first game. They had him in the second game. Mm-hmm. But in this first game, he was aggressive, going to the basket, cutting from the hash, cutting from back door, not just standing at the 3-point line, putting the ball on the floor. They have Gobert on the other side of the block, and he just attacked that other side, be aggressive, get to the line, and that's what I want. That's what you want to see, man. That's what you want to see from. That's what you want to see from him, because those are the plays, and that's the type of mindset. If the Timberwolves want to be successful, that's how he has to play. And this was a team that did struggle. Last year, Karl-Anthony Towns missed a lot of time. I think he missed like 50 games, 50-something games. So, and they were still able to make the playoffs. So who knows what their seeding would have been had he been healthy for the majority of those games. And also, this will be the first full season, hopefully, if he can stay healthy, that he'd be playing with Gobert. So they'd be able to have developed some type of chemistry that they weren't really able to do throughout the regular season, and kind of had to figure it out towards the back end of the regular season into the play-in/playoffs. So I was really impressed by how Karl-Anthony Towns played. I think he had a great game. And just the way they were moving the ball. Defense was there. They look good. And I think they're going to be a team that's definitely going to create some issues for people. I mean, Gobert had a nice little hook, doing a nice little hook shot, capitalizing on the mismatches. A couple dribbles, caught a poster, and both of these preseason games. I was shocked. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it.
I still think he's playing FIBA.
Yeah, it sounded like he's been watching us. Because that's what we've been talking about over the last almost 2 years on the show, is how he needs to play, especially if they want to be successful in a league that doesn't prioritize and have elite rim protection outside of him. So, I mean, it would behoove him to obviously use that advantage while he's still in his athletic prime. It just makes the most sense. And you're playing with two dynamic scorers on each side of at the perimeter, and we both at the perimeter, but obviously Cat could also go to the basket as well. So on the Maverick side, Kyrie didn't play in either game. Luka played in both games. Luka's just he's definitely slimmed down. He definitely slimmed down. Looks good. Looks to be in some really good shape. That shows me he probably doesn't have any neck injuries during the offseason and any type of surgery. So he really locked in. As we know, he did play for Slovenia in the FIBA World Cup. So, he was obviously had to be dialed in for that and be in the best shape possible to represent his country. But they got some young players. They have some solid young players. They need some size in the middle. I mean, it was so glaring. And it became so glaring because of how Minnesota capitalized off that deficiency that the Mavericks have. And I think they do need to try to find a big man that could just bring some type of presence in the middle. Because Dwight Powell, he's a good lob threat, but he's not someone. If you go up, if you were to drive to the basket, you don't really fear him in terms of blocking shots. Even though he is athletic, and I know he came off an Achilles tear a couple of years ago, so he might have lost a little bit of the athleticism. But that's what they need, like badly. They need that badly because yes, they're going to be able to score. You got two guys that can score 60. You've seen both guys score 60 in this league, right? But the thing with me and with Dallas is your two best players don't really prioritize defense. And when that's the case, that could kind of trickle down to the rest of the roster. And you don't really have that. Like, look at and this is like you could say this is an extreme example, but look at the Bulls, right? Look at the '90s Bulls in the '90s. Like Jordan, Pippen, like yes, Jordan cared about offense, but they also prioritized defense. You know what I mean? Like that was also their calling card, turning stops into easy buckets. And then everybody else followed suit. Ron Harper, all of Rodney and Rodney came in later on in the late '90s. That's what you have to do. The Spurs, all these great teams, they prioritize defense. I know, putting the ball in the basket is great to watch, and Kyrie and Luka are going to definitely put on a show for 41 games in Dallas at home for the home team, for their fans. But if you want to make deep playoff runs, you have to be able to make stops. And that's what I want to see from Luka and Kyrie this year. Will those guys really lock in and prioritize that side of the court? Because we know they could score, we know they could close, we know they could get other guys involved and create open shots for others. The 3-point shot it's like it says preseason jitters. You're in a completely different location. You're not in the States. So I'm not really looking at that, but I'm just looking at mindset. You know what I mean? That's what I was looking for. And then like roster. What can they see? And obviously Mark Cuban's, obviously heavily entwined into the team, probably more, looking for the word, like definitely more in tune with his team than a lot of other owners, right? Obviously Jerry Jones and the NFL and Mark Cuban, those guys are, really heavily invested, I should say. Like Steve Ballmer, those guys, that's what Mark Cuban should be looking at. I mean, if I'm watching those games, if I'm owning the Mavs, I'm like, yo, we need to get some size badly. Grant Williams, he's solid, space on the floor. He was dealing with an elbow injury in his last year in Boston, so that kind of hurt his shot percentages. But he looked solid. He looked good in some of the preseason games. But just to combine both games is really kind of the same thing. I mean, it really wasn't anything different. The only thing was Ant-Man was there in the second game, and he just looked like what we saw in the FIBA World Cup. He's just going to take that next step going into the season and really unlock and maybe get himself in the MVP talks if they start winning early and start winning some games. So that's going to be on him. That's going to be on how they win these games. But he looked great. Cat, like I said, I was really impressed with Karl-Anthony Towns, man, in these couple of preseason games. Hopefully that can translate into the regular season. They got some success. They've been in the playoffs the last 2 years. That's what I wanted to see. Prior to these 2 years was like he was too talented to not get into the playoffs. Now they're getting into the playoffs. Bounced out the first round each time. Now it's time to advance, get to the second round, and start making some noise.
So we know the Timberwolves at least. Well, let me back up. So we know going into preseason here, even some of the stuff we've talked about all summer long, is Dallas is shooters a little bit, helping with the creators of Luka and Kyrie both. Someone being knocked down for them as well, which they've got a couple of good shooters, but filling that some more spots there, and the defensive side and the bigs. So we know that's going to be their biggest Achilles basically for them going into the whole season is size basically and defense most 1 and 2, I'd say. The shooting, I think, would be prior back. So what do you think is going to be for Timberwolves? What is going to be their Achilles heel? Because, usually it's Gobert not playing any offense. But right now, of course, it's preseason.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's actually showing up and playing some offense. Because if he's playing offense, you get what you usually get from Cat. And Ant-Man does step up and actually, I say actually, you guys know I'm not completely committed to him yet. But I don't want you to think that I'm disrespecting with the word actually. If he takes that next step and is leading this team, could Timberwolves really be a surprising team that flirts with that top 3, top 4 spot in the West?
I mean, the talent is there. The talent is there for sure. I mean, as I said earlier, you got 2 guys that can score 25 a night. You got a 3-time defensive player of the year. Yeah, and then the two guys that can score 25 a night. It's not just 25. It's 5+ rebounds. 4+ assists. So they're getting other guys involved. They got a young wing player that I think is going to continue to grow and get better in Jaden McDaniels. Kyle Anderson's savvy vets, been on some really good teams that have won a bunch of games in this league. Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Naz Reid just got an extension, 3 over 42. Great, one of the best, second unit players in the NBA, no question. He could be in consideration for 6th Man of the Year this year, no doubt about it. The way he's been able to play, I've been watching him since he was in high school, and it was a shocker to me that he went. I know he didn't have the best season at LSU his freshman year there, but I was shocked when he went in the second round. I thought he was still talented enough to be a top 30 pick. And then he went to Minnesota. I was like, okay. I mean, they kind of got Cat. I was like, it's not a lot of defense there from both guys. Like, how's that going to work out? But it's been. I mean, over the last year, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. Now, he had one of his best seasons in Karl-Anthony Towns' absence. He had to step up. They needed him a little bit more scoring wise, and he had solid chemistry with Gobert again because Gobert is a primarily paint guy, and Naz Reid can space the floor and shoot the 3 as well. So I like their team. Their roster is really good. Finch, this is what I think this is his 3rd year or second. He may be going into his 3rd year. He's made the playoffs the first 2 years as a head coach. I mean, I don't know about winning the West, but like ESPN, I think ESPN had the Grizzlies or like they had the Timberwolves second or something like that. I don't know about that, but from a talent standpoint, I mean, can they get to the second round and then make things interesting? Why not? Why not? Everything is there for them, man. Mike Conley as the point guard, that another guy that's been on some great teams over the course of his career. So that's like we critique them, and obviously the jury's still out because they haven't done anything post Gobert trade, right? And the picks and everything. But what the front office has been able to do since A-Rod, been able to take over and be a partial owner there, has been solid. They put in them in the right positions to succeed. Now they just got to go out there and hoop and win games. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, they could definitely be definitely a perennial playoff team going forward for sure.
We'll see where they go. I'm pumping the brakes a little bit. It's preseason.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. No, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Lakers and Warriors. Of course, again, it's preseason 108 and 125. What do you think of this game?
LeBron didn't play in this game, obviously. Curry played a little bit. Chris Paul played 13 minutes. Looked good. He looked good. Now Draymond Green is out for a couple of weeks with the sprained ankle. I'm not sure if you heard that, but he'll be out for a little bit. So they had Clay at the. I think they had Clay at the 4. They had Clay playing a little bit power forward, and then Looney obviously at the center position. It looked again preseason. Coach is not going to show their hand, right? And everything, show everything and how they could be able to exploit the lineup. So you really got to take what you're watching with a grain of salt. But he did play well. I mean, it looked like Steve Kerr. And this Steve Kerr's, he's a player's coach, former player. former champion. So he's going to make things very easy for someone like Chris Paul, one of the best players of all time, and just doing what he did. Pick and rolls, getting to that mid range, pulling up, picking. That screen action. That's what he's been doing well for so long. So I think he looked great. I think he looked great in the minutes given. Now, what's going to happen defensively, and as the season goes on, winning on the road. We know they win at home, right? This is what we talked about when we did the preview last week.
Yeah, 11 away games won.
Yeah, so we know Chase Center is their money there, regardless of what who's out there. They got it there at the Chase Center. It's just those other 41. What's that going to look like? That remains to be seen, but. Yeah, he looks solid. He looks solid. It's still really weird. I mean, that's the thumbnail for the people watching on YouTube is Chris Paul and Steph Curry on the court together. It just looks so weird to me because they
in the same jersey.
In the same jersey, yeah. They've been going at it for the last decade. So it's kind of
2014,
right? It's kind of wild seeing them on the same team together. Trying to.
Yep.
Compete for the same goals. It looks a little crazy. 2 North Carolina guys as well. So they've been cool for a long time. So that's cool to see.
So the Milwaukee Bucks, of course, they played Chicago Bulls 105-102 in the matchup. Bucks win. Again, it's preseason. Nobody cares about the score. It's all about performance and conditioning and everything on that. I, of course, did not get to watch any of this. Did Dame play in this?
Yeah, Dame didn't play much in this. Giannis played a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, this was kind of just like a more of like the second unit, third unit type game. But Milwaukee, obviously still trying to go out there and win. Obviously, that's the goal. Adrian Griffin's first, action NBA, head coaching action. Even though that doesn't count, but it's still him. It's game planning, right? Yeah, for sure. You're still game planning and doing things as if it is the regular season. So, it just that's just what it was for them. Obviously, once the season starts, again, it's them and the Celtics in the East. No doubt. I just feel like what they've been able to do, what they've been able to keep as well. I just think they're on a collision course between those two squads.
I want to know, how did Bradley Beal look into a Suns uniform? Suns and the Pistons played.
Yeah, it was a good game. Went into overtime. Asor, I always get them confused. Or Amin Thompson hit a 3 to tie it up,
right,
and take it into overtime. There was some ball movement. There was some things that we had talked about in the preview. What we wanted to see. Wanted to see a little bit of ball movement. We know all 3 of those guys could score the basket one-on-one. Mm-hmm. We saw them. Of course, we're going to see the one-on-one because they're gifted in that category. Right. Defensively, there's some things they could definitely need to clean up. The caveat, obviously, but. They look good. Beal looked good, had the headband, everything. I mean, they look good, bro. I mean, they're going to be dangerous. It's not going to be many teams that's going to be able to score with them. And the thing is, even if you are a team, say you have one great perimeter defender, they have 3 great perimeter scorers. So You're still outnumbered. And again, as what I talked about earlier in terms of lack of an elite rim protector in the modern NBA, they're going to succeed. Right, so it's not about offense for them. It's about defense, and you would hope bringing in Frank Vogel, a defensive-minded head coach, they could clean up some things and definitely lock in on that side. It's the same thing. It's the same thing I said about the Mavericks. It's the same exact thing. If those 3 guys lock in defensively, that's going to trickle down to the rest of the team. And have a Kogi, Bobo. I mean, again, he plays well, and I got to see more. I have to see consistent full season. Like if he plays like Naz Reid, I like how Naz Reid's been like. We've seen like 2 years of Naz Reid be an impactful second unit guy. Like, this guy could honestly go get 20 plus if one of those guys are having a bad game that I talked about earlier. So, what is Bol Bol? I don't know. So I'm not gonna sit here and proclaim he's gonna be this or that. He's talented.
Right.
There's upside there. This is the best team he's ever been on. We'll see if he capitalizes off that. But Nurkic was there again. Like I said, Nurkic is. I mean, people were saying they wanted to bring him in for defense. I never saw him as a defensive guy ever. So that was interesting to me. I know you wanted to come off. I know you want to get off Ayton for various of reasons, but that part, with Nurkic, yeah, he can space. He's just not a great defender. Maybe he can lock in on that side of the court. They don't need him.
But he's better than Ayton on defense, right? I mean, Ayton's more solid, I guess.
I think for Ayton, I don't think it was really like. It just looked like effort to me. We know about the infamous clip last year in the second round, right?
Yeah.
That's effort, right? And the defense is effort, really, obviously.
Yeah.
Like that. That's what it is. It wasn't athleticism. It wasn't anything like, well, he can't get that block or he can't be there in the right spot. He's not flat-footed. It's not one of those things where he can't physically. He doesn't have the physical traits to make the plays. It was just. I don't want to. It just looked like he didn't want to make the plays, or he just wasn't locked in because of issues with the coach and everything. So, but yeah, with Nurkic there now, I think it's. I don't think it's some of it. Yeah, a little bit of is effort, but also he doesn't have the. He's not vertical. He's not a vertical leaper like some of the rim protectors we're accustomed to seeing. And you look at a guy like Jokic, who I thought that could have been a concern for Nuggets, and I still think again, they want to chip, but it's gonna, whether they go on a dynastic run will 100% come down to whether or not they play defense. So he's gonna, for Nurkic, he's gonna have to step up, and since he doesn't have to score, he doesn't have to be the second or third option anymore. You would hope that he's taking on that side and taking on that role now. Kind of being a defensive guy, communicating, talking, getting guys in the right spots, you seeing everything, seeing where guys are supposed to be at, collectively holding guys accountable, not being afraid to tell guys where to go just because they're getting paid more than you, like stuff like that. So that's what I want to see. But yeah, in this game it was good. I like what I saw from the Pistons too. I mean, again, we were kind of a year off, but they're climbing. They're climbing. They got the right coach now. And Monty Williams, I believe they have the 6-year deal. So at least when I see 6, I think 3. I think it's a 3-year project, or he's going to get 3 years to show what he could do, and then we'll see if he continues on the back end. But they have some talented young players. Marvin Bagley had a really good game. Marvin Bagley and James Wiseman are kind of battling for that backup big spot, and then I think whether or not whoever wins that. Those minutes could, one of those guys could be moved for sure. So I think, but Bagley looked good. The rookie Thompson that they drafted, he looked solid as well. So yeah, man, I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be good going forward, bro. I really think they're going to excel as long as all those young guys buy in. And I think, again, even though you're young, it's like they've never really lost. Like you don't get the lottery picks and all. You don't get that by losing. You have to win.
Right.
So then you go to the NBA, your dream, and you're losing 60 games in the season. Like, it's something got to click. Like, yo, I'm not about to sit here and lose 3-4 years in a row. If you're a dog, if you're really a guy, like you like, yo, it's time to turn this thing around. So guys like Cade, Jalen Duren, Thompson. Let's see what they could do. And again, like I said, Monty Williams just coached the finals 2 years ago, so he's definitely not thinking about losing.
Yeah, I've got two shows and they kind of colliding together here, where you're talking about the whole change in that, if not losing those younger players. That's one thing I talked to our guy today that we interviewed for a recording for this Wednesday. Is like, like this was off of recording, like afterwards, like, man, you guys are big twins, you're twins. You've played together your whole career, basically, of football. Like, have you guys ever been on a team that were like losing And he said, yeah, my sixth grade football team. And I'm like, you guys are seniors about to go play for UK. And instantly you say sixth grade. And I'm sitting there thinking now, like, he knew right away that losing season hurt him so bad. And it was that far back, you're talking 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and it's still fresh with him. So these players that are changeable as far as atmosphere changing, your cultural changing, if they are winners, they're going to win. Period. So I think that was even good for Pistons for Cade to even take that season last year to recover from his surgery. And I'm using the bunny ears because we don't really know if he had to have that surgery or not, because really you don't want the guy that's possibly going to change your whole franchise to go through those losing seasons. Like, you are able to tank by not losing with the mindset of your star player going through the losings.
Right.
Yes, he was there, he lost, but he wasn't the guy playing. So mentally, I actually think that does help Pistons a tad bit, because Cade can say, hey, when I'm back next year, I don't do losing seasons. When I'm back, now we've got another rookie guy that's coming in with me. When we're back, we're changing this and we're going. So
yes, Ivy, yes, all those guys, exactly.
yeah, yes, as well. And even Chet in Oklahoma, who set out that year as well. So we'll see how that goes. And we talked highly for, it seemed like an hour and a half, talked about the Pistons last year, about how we're really excited about this next step for them. So again, I'm saying exactly what you said as far as being a year off. So we'll see if they do it this year, because they've got a year under their belt. Cade is going to be healthy, and then they even got Thompson coming in. They've made some different trades or free agency signings. So Pistons, I could see making a push for that play in, if not that, I'll say seventh spot. Yeah, looking in, really, really good. We'll see how they do.
Absolutely.
So I'm assuming that James Harden didn't play in the 76ers Celtics game.
Of course not. Embiid didn't play.
Embiid did not play.
He still obviously had the knee issue in the playoffs. So
how did Derrick Rose look today, or was it today?
Yeah, he's playing. They're playing right now. I saw a couple clips before we went live. He looked solid going to the basket.
Yeah.
Again, listen. I mean, you got a guy like Steven Adams setting screens. The Grizzlies, they did such a great job of building that team around Ja. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously Ja's a smaller guy. What do you need? You need guys that can be able to set screens, make lanes easy for him to get to the basket. It's really similar to what we saw with Rose in Chicago. I mean, they had Joakim Noah, Boozer, Nazir Muhammad, all those guys. That's just the right way to build your team when you have, a guard that's elite slasher. And then you miss shots, boxing out, getting rebounds. They built their team so great. But I didn't see a lot of Rose. I mean, Rose went to Memphis, right, in college, went to that national championship game. Yeah. Obviously came up short against Kansas. But it's it's kind of like a homecoming for him. It's a special type of season for him for sure. So I know he's going to go crazy, and he's going to get minutes.
I'm glad you brought that up, because it's I don't want to say a fairy tale story here for him, but like it's the perfect homecoming story. Like, it's going to be basically one of the top stories, I think, that we'll hear played out for a while at the beginning of the season. Rose, played for Memphis in college, goes to Chicago, has an MVP year, top player in the NBA year in, year out, has the injury, he's gone. He comes back finally from his injury, has how many points was it that he scored? Did he have 50? A 50?
Yeah, no,
okay, 50 piece. Yep. Emotional night that was. Cried while on camera, or at least got emotional. I'll say that. Maybe a teardrop. He goes on to New York afterwards. We're thinking maybe he's back because he's changed his game to better fit his body now. He's playing well. He doesn't do anything when Tom Thibodeau. He basically rides the pine, and they let him just sit there. So now he's off to Memphis, where he started his college career, back home for basically his final chapter of the NBA, more than likely.
For sure.
I mean, it's just perfect storyline, basically. And for the fact that Ja Morant is now who Rose was, Rose has this opportunity not to mentor alone, but to compete. He said, "I think I'm not here just to kind of to raise him. I'm here to compete against him for that spot. I want it too, and lead this team as a more mature jaw in the Derrick Rose. I know on paper, record wise, I had Memphis a lot lower because John Morant's going to be out for so long. But man, I'm falling in love with this story of Derrick Rose back home in the Memphis jersey, wearing the same number he did in college.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see this actually be good now. Like, I want to go back and say they win 100 games in an 80-game season. So,
they used to be the team that everybody loved, and they kind of started, feeling themselves a little bit, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have some confidence, and then
you want not arrogance, but confidence.
Yeah, that's it. I think it kind of spilled over to to the latter part, right? And I think they kind of became hated, and then what happened with Ja. Everything happened in the second half of the season, but But in earlier, they everybody loved them. Everybody loved them. So I think now. And I don't want, and then they got rid of they got rid of Brooks, but it wasn't just Brooks, right? It wasn't just him. It was a plethora of those guys coming in talking trash, something crazy, and just not being able to back it up. Like, it's cool to talk trash, but you just got to back it up, especially in this social media era. But
yes, so we will attack you like crazy if you say something and don't back it up.
Yeah,
not us at MNC Hoops, but we as in the Twitter X world, whatever you want to call it, world.
For sure. So, it's a great story. It's a great story, and they're going up against the Pacer team. Also, I think with a lot of expectations as well.
Yeah.
Starting Obi Toppin's in the starting lineup.
I'm sure you're happy about that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I want to see him excel. I want to see him play well, and I think him and Halliburton. I like their team, man. Their team looks good. They got Buddy Hield coming off the bench. They have this lineup that we expected. Halliburton, Brown, Mathurin, Toppin, and Turner. That's just, man. They could be really good, bro. They could be really good. They could be.
Who's
really
the coach
good.
there?
Rick Carlisle.
Okay.
They could be really good and create some problems for some teams, man. I truly believe that. So it's. That roster is perfect. They got a floor spacing 5. They got a lob threat at the 4 who could also shoot. You got a defensive, specialist that could do a little bit of everything in Bruce Brown, and then you got two. You got a pass first, but could also score 20 and 10 assist guy in Halliburton. Mathurin is a scorer, fill it up, good shooter. I just think I think the time is now for this Pacer team. And I think it's great because Pacers-Knicks, obviously, long-time rivalry. Pacers and the Cavs, and I think it's kind of bringing back that 90s feel.
90s vibe.
Yeah, it's bringing that back, that 90s vibe, but in the new era. And I think when you have good teams like that in the East, it creates obviously great stories. Both fan bases are going to be locked in. I think it's great. So both teams right now, Pacers and the Grizzlies, definitely have a lot of expectations, even with Ja being out. I think people still expect them to play well. Let's see what we got. Last game, we got the Kings, and we got a couple games here. We got the Kings and the Raptors.
Man, Dallas is looking awful.
Oh, we need to really talk about. Let me just talk about because I did watch the Sixers Celtics game, and this was like Drew Holiday played. Everybody played.
Oh yeah,
everybody played. They had to line up with Horford at the 5, Porzingis at the 4.
Okay.
At times, and then
Porzingis had somebody on skates at one play. I did see it.
Yeah, I think the starting lineup they had Porzingis at the 5. And
okay. Tatum at the 4.
Tatum at the 4, yes. Holiday, White, and Brown at 1 for PG, the small forward. It's a lot of length. You got your shooting guard and your point guard being defensive minded. That's great. You can play a little bit of zone here and there. Obviously, man to man. It's just about Porzingis' health, man. If he can stay healthy, I think they're going to be in a great position to succeed and play well. So, my one thing for me was They're
Hey,
Good, what's good, man? Y'all
good.
know y'all couldn't do the episode without me.
Let's flip this. How do we?
I'm getting
This
to it. I got you.
it's good,
I'm
brother.
gonna get there. Oh
Yeah,
wow, you already beat me. Okay.
just seeing a lot. My thing with the Celtics was the second unit. And they re-signed Peyton Pritchard to a 4-year, $30 million deal. I think that's smart. He really didn't get an opportunity to showcase everything under Udoka, but I think having with an offensive-minded head coach in Joe Mazzulla, I think he could kind of get away with not being the greatest defender, and still being able to score. And they need his scoring. They definitely need scoring throughout the season. He was a bucket at Oregon. And you could argue he was the best player. I mean, they had Dylan Brooks and Bobo for a couple games, during that time a couple years ago. So he's always been a bucket. So I think now he had a really good game tonight, doing a couple tween step backs. And he looked like he's happy. He obviously got the bag. He got some security financially. That's always good. That always sometimes it's it could be Jekyll and Hyde for some, but it looks like he's happy. Got this is where he wanted to be. And I think the Celtic team, man, they're going to be scary. They're going to be scary because they put everything. They got a bunch of shooters. If you put Porzingis at the 5, the floor is spread out. You can't double anybody because everybody can shoot. Holiday didn't have the best shooting night, but I just think collectively, man, once they get the chemistry down with Holiday. And Holiday could play. I said that Holiday could play off the ball too, which is so clutch. Been playing with Giannis, he knew that's what he had to do because Giannis wasn't. It's just perfect. It's perfect, bro.
Right.
I think it's such a perfect fit. And I'm just excited to see what they do in these 82 together. Nick, what's your thought? First off, let's get your thoughts. Welcome back, bro.
Yes, sir.
Let's get your thoughts on Giannis and Damian Lillard going to the Bucks, and then how that compares with Giannis, and then Drew to the Celtics, and then a little bit about your Warriors and what you saw in the preseason game last night.
Man, first and foremost, my condolences, man. I know Dame was supposed to go to Miami. that didn't happen at all. But honestly, I don't think Milwaukee was even on anybody's radar. Like I know a couple of days before they were talking about the Clippers, or sorry, not the Clippers, they were talking about the Bulls, and they were talking about the Raptors. And then out of nowhere, boom, he goes to Milwaukee. Actually, it's funny because Michael actually sent the text to me. That's how I found out. He sent the text in the group chat. I was like, wait, what? Milwaukee? But no, I like it. I think I texted you guys this too. I was like, yo, like I can see now with this new combination of Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo, you add that with guys like Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez. I still think that maybe their second unit is maybe something's in question. But I think in the possible next 2 to 3 years, they could possibly get a chip. You know what I'm saying? Why not? I mean, Giannis is still in the prime of his career. I want to say he's about like 26, 27 years old, or maybe a little bit older than that. I know that Dame is getting up there in age, but now he doesn't have to carry the load. He can rely on a guy like Giannis, even though Dame is by far a better scorer than Giannis, at least overall scorer. But allowing Giannis to be the number one option and allowing them to run the offense through him, that can take a lot of pressure off of him. And then of course you got Chris Middleton as well, who's a guy that can get you at least 22 a game. So, I like the move. I like the move as a whole. Like I said, I would probably make some changes. As far as the second unit, like maybe they can bring in some more veterans or what have you. But besides that, I'm really excited to see them. I think they could be at least top 2. I think it's gonna be them and Boston as far as top 2 in the East, just like what we saw last year with Milwaukee being 1 and Boston being number 2. But as far as so Portland got Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday went to Boston. But even besides that, I like what Portland has. Now they got Aiden. We'll see if he's a part of a piece of that future. Alongside Scoot Henderson, Shaden Sharp, and the rest of those guys. Robert Williams was a big pickup, getting him from Boston. That's an elite rim protector. So honestly, probably not. I was gonna say either start him and Aiden together, but I think as far as offense, I don't think that would have been a good idea, especially that's bad spacing there. But you're able to probably start Aiden, and then also in your second unit, you got a guy like Robert Williams. And on top of that, you got rid of Nurkic too, because now Nurkic from Phoenix is a part of that trade. So I like it overall for both teams. Obviously Portland's going to move or in a position where they want to start over, so they went young. And I like that from them. And then of course the Portland's going to, Milwaukee's in a good now position. So getting a guy like Damian Lillard who needs to win the championship soon to help Giannis get another chance. I think it worked out well for both teams.
Okay, and then what do you think about what you saw in the Warriors preseason game? Chris Paul, doing I in a couple 13 minutes.
It's crazy. I didn't really watch much of it. Shout out to Jonathan Kuminga. He had a solid outing, but I think that the preseason is a possible chance for the Warriors to see what they got rolling with. Obviously, you got Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and then of course Andrew Wiggins and Kevon Looney. But I'm really interested to see what the other guys are going to do. Chris Paul, we all know, is a veteran point guard heading into his 19th season, so I'm really interested in how he can gel next, especially the younger guys like that. So, as far as the Warriors, it's weird, man, because I don't really like this potential starting lineup with CP, Steph, Clay, Wiggs, and then Draymond at the 5. I think you're relatively small, which that was how the Lakers beat us in this past playoffs, was because they had more size. Anthony Davis had like 30 points and 23 rebounds in game 1. And then we saw the rebound and margin between the two teams. It was just like crazy. So I don't know. I mean, I try not to question Steve Kerr in his decisions, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, considering what we saw with Team USA, I think there's definitely some questions that we got to have for him. But personally, I know that Looney doesn't have a lot of size, but I think he definitely fits that center position a lot better than what Draymond can. Not saying that Draymond can't do it, but Draymond has always been known as like a point forward. So I like Draymond at the 4, and I like having Wiggins at the 3. Not saying that Wiggins can't defend 4s, but I think he's better off, playing at the 3 position. So, I didn't really get a chance to watch the preseason game against the Lakers. I'm probably going to go back later tonight and watch it, but those are just my thoughts on the Warriors, because I know that y'all went through the what is it called, Pacific Division or last week. So, I just wanted to get my takes there. But overall, I mean, besides that, I think the Warriors can have a really good year. I think that, I know that they're up there in age, but I think they could finish at least top 6 in the West, possibly.
Well, they did it last year.
Yeah, they did last year, yeah.
So, I mean, it's definitely possible. All right, I know. Let's try to, get through some of these topics here. Big news. Joel Embiid announced that he will be playing for Team USA in the 2024 Olympics in Paris next year. So I just wanted to go to Michael, man. What's your thoughts on this? Kind of, with some weird reactions to it. But I wanted to get your thoughts and what you thought about this move. And also I got a who will MNC choose segment after we get everybody's opinions.
Okay. I like the fact that he's going to play for the USA. I think it's great. I think he's another big man. I mean, coming off a MVP season last year, he's only going to be better this year, I think. My only thing is we don't really know who's going to play in it until we get there to it.
I want to say some people committed. I think Steph committed. I think KD did too, didn't he?
Yep, KD. Yeah, it's been a few guys. LeBron.
There's been a few that's been commit, but still, like, my thing is, until it gets closer to it, even though they commit, is it really like in stone that these players are going to play? Like, I mean, if Embiid comes up and he's somewhat injured, like, he could easily say, "No, man, I can't play now." So, I mean, I'm glad he's got the opportunity to play for USA, and I think it's great if he's able to play for us. I just think this is way predetermined to even deciding this. Premature, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, on all these commitments going for the Team USA coming up for next year. But, yeah, having Embiid playing a USA jersey is phenomenal for USA, especially going from the FIBA where we didn't win it, didn't even get bronze, did we? So, I mean, if we can have this stacked of a USA team, a redemption 2.0, if you will, It'd be phenomenal for us. I'll say that, but I don't want to get too caught up in the emotion of all these superstars saying they'll play until we get to it actually being there, and they say, "Hey, I'm at practice playing."
I guess there has been some mixed emotions about this topic. I see people saying that he's betraying his country and everything, but at the end of the day, if Joel want to play, I think Joel has the right to play for whatever country he wants to play for, and if he feels like he's in a better position to play with Team USA. He's lived here for a while now because he went to college here at Kansas, so he's been here for about at least over a decade now. So
Exactly.
if this is what he considers home, then at the end of the day, I think that he has a right to suit him for whoever. So
he's a citizen now, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he should be able to play for USA. Like
I get it. He wasn't necessarily raised here, and of course, he was introduced to basketball. In his home country, so I get that. And then of course, you see all the other people Dirk played for Germany. And even other guys. You see Lucas playing for Lithuania. You see Jokic playing for.
Parker for France.
Also,
you got Ginobili for all those. People play for their other countries, but I don't think those people are citizens of USA either, are they?
No,
I don't know. Yeah.
So Embiid took the initiative to become a citizen of the United States of America. Like, you can be upset because you don't have the MVP on your team to play for your country, and that's fair to be sad for that. But you can't be mad that he chose to play for the team that he can actually play for. It's not like he's going to here and just say, "Well, I just want to play for USA because it's going to be a stacked team." No, he's a citizen. He can play for us.
He has a right to. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to suit up next to guys that he's comfortable playing with, because I know he doesn't play against these guys, but he may play with them on the All-Star team or whatever.
What?
So,
CJ, after the show, can you get a picture of me off of Twitter or something and put that I am committed to Team USA for next year as well? I'm committing right here, right now, that I will play with this team in the Olympics.
I hope commitment.
Let's do it.
But no, I think Joel has a right to play for any country he wants. If he wants to play for if he wants to play for the country that he's currently living in, then
that he's a citizen.
Why not? Yeah. Exactly. So it's like, but I like it though. I think we needed a big. Obviously, who else to get, but a MVP, or the reigning MVP at least. So I like it. You got Joel, Bron, Steph, KD. I'm guessing Booker's probably gonna start at the 2. So it's like, I ain't gonna lie, like that's a Hall of Fame lineup right there. Crazy as it is.
Yeah, that's unstoppable. Exactly. That's an unstoppable lineup, bro. That lineup is unstoppable. Yeah, listen, like you guys said, I agree. If he didn't want to play for Cameroon, that's his home country. That's his choice. We live in America, right? Freedom, right? So. If that's what he said.
I'm sorry, they got me. If you don't want to play for your country, well, you're in America.
Hey, it's just it's the choice that he made. There were people saying that there was a time where he said he wanted to play for France, but he's never lived in France. So what? So what sense is that? What sense would that have made? He's lived in the United States pretty much almost half his life. He's 28, 29 years old. He came to the University of Kansas when he was 16, 17. So lives in Philadelphia.
Probably more like 18, 19, or 20, I guess. 16, I was a sophomore, I think, in high school.
No, but I'm saying I think he was a little bit younger. I think he might have been like 17 when he went to.
Really? Okay.
University of Kansas. I think he was a little bit younger, but either way, it's like
still,
you said, almost
over years. Not that bad.
Yeah, right. It's been over a decade, since he's been in the United States. So I don't see the problem. This is his choice. This is one to make. And I said it. I was like, yo, we need a big man presence. I know Bam also said he was also committed because remember he won the gold medal a few years ago in Tokyo. So. It's great. It's great. Like you just said, that lineup. Steph, KD, Bron, Booker, AD. and Embiid.
I forgot. I didn't even mention AD.
I think the lineup should be. I think the lineup should be Steph, KD, LeBron, AD, and Embiid.
Really? Okay. So you gonna go with a big lineup.
But it's versatile.
Pretty much. I mean, that's true. Yeah.
It's like it's versatile, and if they move the pill, LeBron's just like the old man point guard. And just set everybody else up. Set those other four guys up. Curry. We already know what Curry, Kate. We already know what everybody else could do. And LeBron don't have to really score that much. He could just dime everybody and get a couple of dunks here and there. He could coast throughout the game because everybody else will carry. He'll just be the playmaker. It's like you got LeBron coasting. I mean, how do you stop that? I mean, this is you got to worry about Curry and all those other guys, and it's good because And I was wrong. I said it. I was wrong. I thought we was going to get the goal. I felt like there were opportunities that.
Yo, CJ was confident, boy.
Yeah, I was confident.
He was like, we getting gold.
And we had opportunities definitely to win, but I feel like I underrated how and they did a good job. Lithuania, those other teams, the teams that we lost to, they did a good job of utilizing their size. And I thought Jared Jackson would play a little bit better. Obviously coming off DPOY, and I thought he was going to go. Yeah, and so I just had a lot of expectations. I assumed a lot of things, and I don't mind. I don't mind being wrong. I just learned a lot. And like I said, we need size at that position going forward. And now we got somebody for Embiid, at least for the next couple, few more Olympics for sure. He's only 29, so he might play in one more. But my point still stands about Chet and Kessler and some of these other guys that's coming in. They could definitely come in and still be dominant at the center position. So I'm excited. Good for him. The people that got something to say, they always got something to say. So it's never going to change. That's just what it is.
But you know what's crazy about it though? Like the people that have something to say, it's like mostly American people, and I'm like, you should be happy. We getting an MVP.
Yeah, I mean, it's just people just think by going against the grain. Sometimes they feel like that makes them right. Or a lot of people do it for clicks, and so it's just you just gotta kind of be cognizant of some of the stuff you see on X for sure. This is a picture from Basketball Forever comparing the teams after the announcement. A little bit of who will MNC choose real quick. We got the Dream Team, the Redeem Team, and Basketball Forever is calling this the Remind Team. I guess reminding people that we're still the best team in the world. It's a cool little name. It's a cool little name. I don't know if I'd use it, but who you guys got?
Man, what's crazy? Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I mean, maybe because I was able to actually watch them, but I love the Redeem Team. You talk about D-Wade, Kobe, Braun, Melo. You had Dwight, you had Chris Paul, you had Darren Williams coming off the bench. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a really solid team right there, man.
Yes.
And I don't know. I mean, of course, people are probably going to go with the Dream Team, and I'll probably stick with them too. But I think that the Redeem Team would give them trouble. Like, I don't think it would be like a straight blowout. I know that the Dream Team got some great defensive cats. Like, I remember that one game. I'm watching a documentary in that one game. Both Mike and Scotty locked up on Tony Kukoc and just held him to like a real poor performance. So it's like, I mean, they have some dogs defensively, but also so did the Redeem Team. Kobe was a 9-time all NBA or all defensive first team. D-Wade was an elite defender. That was Braun back when he was younger. He at least played some defense, more defense than he does now. Then you had a great shot blocker like Dwight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So they had great defense on that team, but I think the Dream Team probably gets the dub. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think having a guy like Magic makes things a lot different. Talk about Larry Bird as well. I want to say Charles Barkley was an MVP that year. I think maybe like a year after. So I ain't gonna lie, like the Dream Team probably gets the dub, but the Redeem Teams definitely will make it a fight.
So the Ramin team is not in the conversation?
Did I say Ramin? Redeem.
No, I did. I'm saying
Ramin.
Or Redeem?
No.
Or Remind Team?
No, the Remind. I mean, we got the Dream, Redeem. I mean, I feel like they should be called the Ramin team instead of the Remind. So for me, it's the Dream Team as well. I will say the Redeem team was phenomenal to watch. The Vince Carter jumping over the 7 foot will never be a memory that I don't have. But the Dream Team, man, it was passing of a torch to Michael Jordan during that time. We've all seen those games where they actually had harder practices than they did games. So I understand what we got here, but I'm just going to play a little bit here and just say where, as far as the Remind team, LeBron is a little bit older. Steph is a little bit older. I don't know what era we're actually comparing these
KD
with to, and KD as well. Embiid against Barkley and Malone, as far as double teaming.
I ain't gonna lie, boy. Embiid's cooking Karl Malone. I don't care what y'all say, man.
Oh, you hate Karl Malone.
It's a good battle, man. It'd be a great battle.
I mean, like, who's okay? I get it. Like, I know that Embiid can be limited because even in the playoffs, we saw Al Horford, have some great defensive moments on him. But how can you really slow down a guy of like that skill set and that caliber? You know what I'm saying? Like,
put him in round 2.
Like put him in round 2. Round 2 of the tournament.
But I mean, to me, it's hands down. It's Dream Teams. The defense that they played, the offense that they had as well. I mean, it's just locked down central on everyone's just going to grind the defense and cause turnovers and score.
Oh, let me ask you this. Do you think that, like, who would you have in that matchup between Embiid and Dwight?
Embiid and Dwight?
Yeah.
It's tough.
That's a tough one.
I mean, Embiid has more skills offensively.
Okay. Embiid is the more versatile player as far as offense. But it depends on the rest of my team. Like, Dwight Howard at least is coachable. You can actually play well with him in a pick and roll offense, throw it to him at the rim, and he's dominating. Like, there's no stopping him. And Dwight Howard has a little bit of mean streak into him as well. Embiid is not really showed us that. Even now, I don't think. Yes, he won MVP, but like just to flat out, hey, this is my paint, get out of it. Like, if someone comes across the middle of that little forearm, we don't really see Embiid wanting to fight anyone. So, I mean, I want to go Dwight Howard because he's going to be the anchor of that defense big time no matter what. No questions asked.
Yeah, it'd be a good battle. Wow.
It's tough.
It's tough. Yeah, it is tough. I might go Embiid. I mean, you just want to beat, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's but Howard led the team to the chip. So it's just like, man, you really splitting hairs 50-50. I'm just going Embiid just because he has more of a bag offensively.
Right.
I think
100% understand that.
You could,
and that's the thing too, because I mean Dwight. But that's the thing, because like Dwight played in a whole different era, so we don't know how he would have been, like, guarding guys on the perimeter who were able to space the floor.
Exactly.
But
so, yeah,
Dwight had nobody, and he took that team.
No, for sure. No. No. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why it's close, bro. Because and
Embiid has had a lot of players.
And he wasn't even an elite shooter, and he led a team like pretty much as a rim runner. Pretty much, he had a hook shot a little bit. He had a hook shot, but he pretty much took the team to the chip as a rim runner. And they took, and of course they had a bunch of shooters around him. But I just feel like Embiid, man, like just his skill set, bro. His ability, he could score. I mean, he's also scoring champions. Like I gotta go Embiid. But it is
athletic wise. I mean, well, I won't say athletic wise. As offensively, weapon wise, it's Embiid. But I would still take Howard.
I mean, that's not a bad answer.
Yeah, for sure. For this team, who would I take?
Don't you do it?
I mean, the Redeem. Listen, man, the Redeem team. Obviously, I watched that team and special. But just like the Dream team, I'll probably go with the Dream team just because. Again, like Magic and Bird weren't even in their prime at this point.
No, they weren't.
They were in year 13.
I think I'm about to say, didn't Magic like just retire? I think he did.
Yeah, he had just announced. Yeah, he had just announced everything, and then he came back. Right, he came back and then played. I said Bird really didn't play because he had back problems.
It's still
so
able to win.
It was really so. Pippen was really playing small forward at the time. Barkley won, like you said, Barkley won MVP a year after this. So, and Jordan had just won a chip. So it's like, gotta go Dream Team. Karl Malone, whatever Karl Malone was doing on the court, it was a beast. Dude was a beast. He's top 3 in scoring for a reason. But yeah, that Redeem team is special. I mean, obviously, I can't go remind. I haven't seen them play together, but I mean, obviously, we all assume they're going to win gold because of the talent. But yeah, just that Redeem team was special, bro. I mean, Kobe,
bro.
That was Kobe's first time.
I was saying Kobe was hungry too, especially after just losing to Boston.
Yeah, you know, Kobe wasn't able to play in the 2004 because we already know what happened and the stuff in Colorado. So, you know, for him, you know, to go there now in 2008 and play and just dominate, bro. Dominate Powell, dominate Luis Scola and Ginobili in Argentina. Just, bro, he was just on a different tear. He was on a mission.
Kobe was locking people
up. He was on a mission. And you got Chris Paul. They had Jason Kidd, Chris Bosh, Michael Redd. Team was stacked. Dream team too. They had Patrick Ewing, Stockton off the bench. Like Stockton, you got Stockton coming off the bench from Magic.
See, that's another thing. Patrick Ewing not even from this country, and he played for USA.
And and Olajuwon was supposed to be on that team, but he didn't get his citizenship yet.
They would have had Dream. Oh God, they had Dream. Oh, Dream.
It'd have been over, bro. Olajuwon at the 5, Mark. That would have been over, bro. But yeah, man.
Can you imagine if that team had Shaq?
Shaq was supposed to.
They didn't even have. Oh no, I want to say Shaq was a rookie, wasn't he?
Yeah, Shaq, but it was kind of just like they went with the OGs, but Shaq could have definitely been on this team, bro.
Did Shaq ever play for USA?
Yeah. Him and a lot. I think the '96 team.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was on that '96. Him and Olajuwon on that '96 team. Yeah. I got to go Dream Team. Just like the history behind it, how they changed the game globally. Then just story wise with Jordan, like those guys passing the torch to MJ, and he just took it and Usain Bolt. Games then. Yeah, he took it and did Usain Bolt and just sprinted to the top and established himself as, in my opinion, the GOAT. So, yeah, man, it's a great discussion. All right, let's get a couple more topics. Get out of here.
I'll say this real quick, man. There's 2 numbers in my opinion that need to be retired in USA history. It's number 9 and number 10.
It's kind of tough to do the retirement of.
I know.
Because the younger generation, they want to rock it to keep the number alive. Yeah, so it's kind of tough. But I agree for sure. 9 and 10, obviously, should no doubt be retired. Melo's too, 15.
15, yeah.
Yeah.
You can say Bronze 2, 6.
For sure. No doubt about it. All right, let's get to ESPN's. Oh man, ESPN is insane. Michael sent it in the chat, but I happened to come across it yesterday, and I had reacted to it on X. So this is ESPN's Eastern Conference projected wins. They got the Celtics at 1, the Cavaliers at 2, with 48.6 wins. The Bucks at 3.
Do the points?
I don't know. I don't know why they do that.
We predict they win 48.6 wins.
Yeah, I just feel like they're just trying to be like just extra with it. This is so-called the worldwide leader. You got the Sixers at 4, Knicks at 5, Hawks at 6, Miami at 7.
That's crazy.
The Raptors at 8, the Nets at 9. They got the Pacers to round out the top 10 with 38.6 wins. Let's start with Michael here, man. What's your thoughts on this?
If you don't care, go with Nick, because I'm actually going to flip back and see if I can see where we projected these guys with their wins. Oh, yeah. I got to find my page.
All right, cool. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, Cleveland's really high.
I'll
number say 2. Number 2. Okay. I mean, it's like I said earlier. I think it's gonna be Boston and Milwaukee, top 2 teams, just like what we saw this past year. Philly. See, that's the thing about Philly, man, because I really don't even know what to expect out of them this year. I mean, of course, they still got the reigning MVP. Of course, they still got a young, gifted guard in Tyrese Maxey, who has shown to be able to play as far as the number 2 option. But man, like if they don't have James Harden for the season, they don't. I mean, not even just Harden as a scorer, but Harden as a playmaker on the floor, somebody that really runs the offense. Like if they don't have him, I don't really know who's going to replace him. I mean, I know that Maxey. I mean, I've mentioned Maxey, but I don't think Maxey can be a great playmaker the way that Harden does. So I don't know, man. I mean, there's been reports about him going to the Clippers. Who knows? But I think so. Yeah. So I'm gonna speak hypothetically. Like if Harden's not playing, I'll say Philly probably drops out of the top 4. Maybe 5 is cool, but I'll probably swap them in New York. Just 'cause I think that New York's going to have another strong year. Jalen Brunson is only going to capitalize off of what he did last year. Yeah, I said Philly 5. They got the Hawks ahead of the Heat. That's crazy. Wow, okay.
It's not getting Dame.
I don't believe in Miami's young guys.
Yeah, I get that. I'll probably say Miami's number 6. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they still got Jimmy Butler there. They still got Bam Adebayo. I know that they need to play better and elevate their game, but they still got them. They still coached by arguably the best coach in the NBA right now, Eric Spoelstra. So I'll still give them that nod. I know that their supporting cast is still in question because they lost a lot of guys. Gabe Vincent's in LA, Max Strus is in Cleveland. So I know that they don't really have a great, or I'm not gonna say a great supporting cast, but the same supporting cast that they had last year. But hey, Tyler Hero's coming back. He's gonna be healthy. He once again overcame the trade allegations and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I still think Miami's still gonna be a good team. Maybe not up there with Philly not up there with Milwaukee or Boston, but I still think that they're gonna be a good team. I've learned to just not doubt Miami at this point, man. If they can make it to the finals as an 8 seed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna just make sure. Then 7. Honestly, I'm gonna put the Brooklyn Nets at 7. I like the type of team that they have. I think Mikal Bridges is only going to take another leap. They just re-signed Cam Johnson. I want to say Nick Claxton had in my opinion, a most improved type season this past year. And I think that he's only going to be able to capitalize. And if Ben Simmons said he's ready to go, he said he's ready to go. I'm going to keep him at his word. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what type of production he's going to bring, but if he's even like 75-80% of the Ben Simmons that we've known him to be, I think that that's good enough to at least help Brooklyn get to the 7th seed. So I'm going to say Brooklyn there. Number 8, I'll probably have the Hawks there. You know, I know people are very critical of Trae Young, and you know, Trae Young's efficiency is not the best. You know, so I want to say shot like in the 30s as far as three-point range and everything. You know, I think it was like low 40s as far as field goal percentage overall. But I still think that the combination of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray can help you get to 8 seed. I know that there's going to be some questions regarding the power forward now that John Collins is gone. And I want to say probably Onyeka Okongwu is probably going to start there, possibly. So, you know, I think that definitely can bring some versatility. And then on top of that, apparently he's been working on his outside shots, and we'll see how that turns out. Number 9, I guess I'll say, I don't know. Like, I'm surprised Chicago's not on this list. I'll probably say 9 Chicago. I mean, I know that there's still some questions for them, you know, especially with Lonzo Ball not playing. We don't know when he's going to play again. But, you know, I still believe in DeRozan, even at 34, 35 years old. Zach LaVine still shows to be a really good player. I mean, hell, they almost made the playoffs this past year. You know, I mean, they were up on Miami for the most part before the fourth quarter had happened. So I still think that they can at least get into the play-in tournament. And then number 10, I'll probably say Indiana. So I'm taking Toronto. Basically, I'm taking Toronto out of the top 10, and I'm putting in Chicago.
Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah, in terms of the top 10 wise, yeah, for sure, I'm right there with you. I'll take Toronto out and put Chicago there, just because I just didn't shooter as starting point guard. I just still a lot of questions. There with that. But Cavs at 2. I mean, come on, what are we really doing? And I don't understand how the Cavs are at 2 when the Knicks beat the Cavs in the first round of the playoffs, and by convincing fashion in 5 games, gentlemen's sweep. They're a good team. I don't know if they're going to be the second. I mean, it's very possible that they could be. They could have a lot of. I expect them to win a bunch of games, but it's just from the standpoint of, can Evan Mobley again take that next step, bro? That's what it's going to come down to. Evan Mobley, can he take that next step? If he's able to elevate his game with Donovan Mitchell, then yeah, you know they very well could be second. But over the Bucks, I don't see that. I don't see that because while I do think that it may take a while for Dame and Giannis to kind of mesh and then kind of get things together, I still think it's going to result into wins because they're just that much better than the majority, like 80%, 85% of the teams that they're going to come across, maybe 90% of the teams that they're going to come across. So I got them second for sure. Sixers, yeah. The way I know it's preseason, but Maxey looked really good. Maxey looked good today, and especially with Embiid out, I think Nick Nurse being there is definitely going to help them. I saw them run a lot of plays. I saw them run a lot of plays that they were not running with Doc Rivers. Some really good sets. Ball was moving. They look good. Like I said, again, obviously we know the caveat, but the ball was moving for sure. Mo Bamba, backup five. I think when they get a beat in there, hopefully, I think with Nurse, I don't think the basketball is going to stop when Embiid has the basketball. And I think we just saw too much of that last year with Doc Rivers coaching. It was just like as soon as Embiid got the ball, everybody was just like standing and just waiting for the ball. Like, no, let's move off. Let him. He needs to be more of a screener and rolling. And I think Nurse will prioritize a lot of that. He has to stay healthy though. That's the key thing. Doing all that extra movement. So I still think they could be a top 5 team in the East for sure in terms of wins because they do have a championship head coach, and I think Maxey will take that next step. And that roster is still solid enough to win a lot of games. But yeah, Hawks over Heat. I disagree, but I could in a way see where they're coming from the standpoint of you kind of know what Atlanta's roster looks like right now, as opposed to Miami losing the guys that they lost in the offseason. It's just a lot of pressure on Jovic and Jaquez Jr. to step up being young guys. Caleb Martin coming off a hell of a playoff run. Can that translate over and going into next season for a full season, not just for the postseason? Tyler Hero coming back, obviously, is going to help them tremendously. He's a really good scorer, and he already has the chemistry with Ben and Jimmy, Emo Jimmy. So,
yeah, that's crazy. That's your guy, Michael.
That's definitely your guy. That's definitely your guy for sure.
Sure.
But I could see it. Quinn Snyder, hell of a coach. But I would still probably put Miami, and I would probably still put Miami slightly, just slightly, because let's not forget they were the AFC, and they were one of the worst scoring offenses in the league last year. There was times where they struggled to get in the regular season. There were times where they struggled to get 100 often. That's why a lot of people counted them out, especially after the Hawks beat them in that first playing game. So I could kind of see that, but that's really it. That's really it. I mean, the East doesn't look as bad as the West. Their West prediction. That's the one where I'm just like, come on, guys, come on. But now, did you say you got the wins for us, or you was able to get that?
Yep, I got it here. So, real quick, let me just say, looking at it, they have the Cavs. I didn't pay attention that greatly into the numbers. 48.6, the Bucks 48.5. So we're talking 0.1 difference here. That's just dumb in itself. Bucks are definitely a 50-win team, no matter what's going to go on. They got too much to prove this season. So you're wrong there. I can see the Bucks easily being number 1 in this. But the rest of it, I don't feel like arguing. I just flat out agree with Nick with what all he said. Now, as far as our numbers, I had the Bucks winning 61 games. So your Nick, you had them at 57, CJ 55.
What team
Celtic, the Bucks.
See, that was
before the trade. Yeah.
Pre-Dame coming into.
I said 57.
The East. Yep.
Dang.
The Celtics. The Celtics. I had the Celtics at 59. Nick, for some reason, I don't have a score written down by you. I think. I don't know why, but CJ, you have them at 57. Maybe so. You have them at 57. The Cavaliers, I've got them at 54. Nick 51. CJ 53. The 76ers, I've got them 50. Nick 52. CJ 50. The Knicks, where are you guys at? I've got them 51. Might be a little bit high, but Nick, you got them.
Okay.
Well, I got them at 44. I've got them 51. You've got them at 49, and CJ's got them at 50. The Hawks. Where you at, Hawks? That's what I wrote up Washington. I got them at 38. Nick, you've got them at 33. CJ, you've got them at 27.
I had the Hawks at 33?
Yes.
Really? That don't sound like me. That's crazy. Really? 33 wins?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong line.
I'm about to say.
Wrong line. I've got them at 38, which is what I said, but that was a different team. You've got them at 42. CJ's got them at 43.
That sounds
wrong
right.
line for the rest of them. My apologies. Let's see here.
I was about to say, that does sound crazy. I don't remember ever saying the Hawks.
Yeah. It was Washington. That was the other team.
Okay. Now that makes sense.
That makes a lot more sense. So Miami, we put down 2 scores because we knew Dame was going to go there. And so we put one without Dame, one with Dame. So I'll just say without Dame. I've got them at 45. Nick, you've got them at 44. And CJ, you've got them at 46. Raptors, 31, 33, 35. The Nets, 42, 45, 43. So we're all much more believer in the Nets than what they are here. The Pacers, 41, 35, 39. So we've got everybody winning a lot more games. Maybe we've got to figure out our math a little bit and realize that some of ours.
I think this is going to be a different year now because I think all the stars or duos or whatever they got to play at least 65 games. So might get more of a production rather than seeing everybody sit out.
I could easily see the Bucks not winning as many as I've got them up or as we have them, just because it's not about the season for them anymore. They've got a ring. It's about the playoffs now. But I
still think they win at least 55.
I don't think they're going to go in here and win under 50 for sure.
Yeah, they're not going to win under 50. But
I
mean, they won 58 last year.
And they got them at 48 this year with Dame.
They have 48? That's
crazy. The Bucks 48.5.
Oh, I see. Okay, I forget.
It's insane, bro. Like I said, at least like 50.
Who is doing this? Who is doing these things? Kendrick Perkins or whoever? Like who is doing?
You'll never know. You'll never know. They never
got fired after this.
Nah, they don't get fired because they do this for us to make content, bro. This is why they do it. They do it for clicks.
I mean, thank you, I guess. So
yeah,
really
thanks. Yeah, but it's just like
you do it for the West too.
Yeah, they do it for the West. You're supposed to be ESPN, and I just feel like I know I get it. Interactions is the new drug, I guess. But it's like, man, bro, you call yourself the worldwide leader in sports. You kind of should hold yourself to that. But this is the West.
I know it wasn't my guy Tim Legler. You know better.
Nah, definitely wasn't. Definitely some guy that just watched.
Stephen A. Smith.
3 games. I don't even think Stephen A. I don't even think Stephen A. is that crazy.
I
don't even think Stephen A. is that crazy to make a list and say that in the Western Conference, the Grizzlies are going to win the West. Like that's just so we got
Grizzlies out for 20 games.
With Ja out for 25 games. We got ESPN has Grizzlies 1, Timberwolves 2, the Nuggets at 3, the Warriors at 4, Phoenix at 5.
Ain't no way this list is real, man. Come on, man. Ain't no way.
I'm telling you, it's crazy, bro. Pelicans at 6, Sacramento at 7, Lakers at 8, Mavericks at 9, and the Clippers at 10. Only one I got to see is the Clippers because, again, those guys, they always hurt. So
even then, the Timberwolves at 2?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So I don't know about 2, but hey, again,
I like them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they could be really good. They could be really good. But now I don't see second. I don't see second in the West. No.
Now I'll be honest. I think that Memphis can get at least top 3, but I don't see them being number 1. To me, I think Denver gets number 1 again. I know that they lost a lot of their great supporting cast, but hey, I mean, they are the reigning champions. They got the best player currently right now in basketball. And then, him and his partner, Jamal Murray, that's to me, that's the best duo in the NBA. So I got Denver number 1. I'll say Grizzlies 2. Grizzlies at 2. Because Jaws only missed 25. Oh, shit, dang it. That's right. I forgot about – actually, yeah, Phoenix probably got
Phoenix, the Kings.
I ain't gonna lie. Phoenix is at 2. I still think that Memphis is slightly better than Sacramento. Just right now, at least. I mean, I think it's a toss up right now because I mean, both teams are still relatively young.
Wait. I'm sorry. Can you say that again? I don't know if I heard you correctly.
About what?
Who's better than who?
I said the Grizzlies right now are currently better than the Kings.
Okay. I totally thought you said Phoenix was better than the Kings, like it was a debate.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, I got Denver, I got Phoenix 2, I got Memphis number 3. I think Memphis wins at least 49 games. I mean, even without, because I still think even with Ja, I think that they can. I think with Ja or without Ja, those 25 games, I think that they can go maybe like 16-9 or something like that. I mean, I may be a little too high for them, but I mean, you got to think. I mean, you got to think. Ja's only missing 25-82, so he has a chance to play 57 more games. You know what I'm saying? If he stays healthy and out of trouble. So that's what I'm basing it off of. I think Memphis could get at 3 with 49. I'll say 4. I'm gonna be high on this team and say probably 4 Golden State. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that they're up there in age, but I still think that they can get at least the top 4. 5, I'll put Sacramento there at 5. Number 6, I want to be high on them, because when healthy, I do think that this team is really good. I'll say the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that Kawhi, maybe not 65 games, but at least 50 something, like mid 50s or something like that. I don't know, or maybe high 50s, like closer to 60, like close to 60. What is that? 6, 7. 7, I'll go with the Lakers. I don't think that's tough, man. I think the Lakers are gonna be better too this year.
I don't think the Lakers. I'd be shocked the Lakers are playing team this year.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put Lakers at 6, and then I'll put the Clippers at 7. I think the Lakers will be better than the Clippers this year. 8, I will say Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is gonna be the first full year with Kyrie and Luka as a duo. Then on top of that, you acquire guys like Grant Williams from Boston, who I think is a really good pickup for them. They still got guys like Maxi Kleber and those guys. So I'm really hoping that Dallas can at least make some type of run. I mean, hopefully not miss the playoffs the way like they did last year. Number 9, I will probably. So that's the thing. Like New Orleans is a team that I really like, but their star player can't stay healthy. And that's the reason why they've been a playing team the past few years. I mean, I know they were 8 seed in 2022, but even last year they were a playing team and ended up losing because they didn't have their star player. And then, so Pelicans at 9, and then number 10, I'll say. Oh, dang, I didn't even mention Minnesota. Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even put Minnesota in there. I'll put Minnesota 8. I'll do New Orleans 9, and then number 10, I'll go OKC.
OKC, yeah. I think OKC. Yeah, I think they're going to be a top 10. I think Utah be outside looking in. I think there's so many questions, man.
I forgot about the Rockets.
I don't think the Rockets are going to be top 10.
I mean, I was saying the ceiling was a playing team, but yeah.
This 10, the 10 teams, these should be the 10 teams that should be in the playoff / play-in, but we know it doesn't work like that. We know injuries play a factor, and I gotta factor that into this season. I mean, I know it's a clean slate, but it's just gonna come up in my mind when I think about the team. So Pelicans, Clippers, like sure, yeah, fully healthy, no doubt. Top 10 even. I mean, with the Warriors, they didn't have. I mean, Curry was out for a little bit with the shoulder. I mean, Draymond's out. Draymond might miss like a game or 2 with the ankle already, but Wiggins didn't miss because of injuries though. It was kind of just other stuff, right? So I don't really factor that into last year. Grizzlies, I don't see Grizzlies being number 1 seed. I think the number 1 seed is going to be the Nuggets. I think it's going to be Nuggets, Phoenix.
I got to go back and watch that preseason game.
Say Nuggets, Phoenix. I think Sacramento, just because, again, they're younger and, they're just going to continue to improve off last year. Lakers.
So you got Sacramento ahead of Memphis. I like it.
Yeah, I think because again, I mean, Ja playing is different because when Ja was, you know, with Ja playing is different for sure. I mean, they were the third seed last year, third, right?
Second. I think they're second because wasn't the Lakers 7?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it was. That's what I'm saying. So it's like it's not if Ja's healthy for sure, bro, for sure. But like 25, it's still a lot of games, bro. It's still a lot of games. And anything can happen in that time frame. And I'm a fan of Derrick Rose. I hope he kick up.
Guys, I'm going to have to hop off here. I do apologize. I've got
a good,
early morning in the morning. So
go ahead, man.
Y'all have a great one. Carry on the show. And have a good day.
Yes, sir. You too, bro. But yeah, bro, it's just like it's just gonna be. I just don't see the Grizzlies with the number one spot, just because Ja being out, and I think Phoenix, man, I think they need to make a statement. I mean, remember, like first couple of years, this is a team that won 64 games a couple of years ago, so like they're not like, you know, they're used to winning in the regular season and being successful. And I think the second or third seed when they went to the finals. So
yeah,
like this team, and then now with the plays that they have now, I think they're much better. So I think they're going to be second. I think Lakers are going to be a top 5 team. I just like their roster, and I like what they put around. I just like what they put around LeBron and AD, the players that they got. They got a bunch of scorers, defenders, shooters. You know, if one of those guys having an off night, you know, Reeves, Russell, maybe Vincent, you know, Hachimura, a couple of those guys could come in and fill in like that 25 if one of those guys don't get 25, you know. So I think Lakers gonna be a top 5 team. Yeah, you know, just some of this is just crazy. And as I was saying earlier, it's for shock jock, right? It's just you get a reaction and for people to go crazy. It's just my overall point of sharing this really just goes to show like where we're at now in terms of content, making sports content, bro. Because like everybody's just looking for the clicks and the likes and the mentions. It's just wild to me, bro. Like this got 4.5 million views, and you know, like and this NBA Central, like you get paid off the views, and so they're probably balling right now. I mean, this is almost what 5 million views on a top 10 post that's not even their top 10 post.
There's got to be a robot working at ESPN because ain't no way somebody in their right mind picking the T-Wolves as the 2 seed in the West. Like that's crazy.
It's crazy, and I like their team. They're really good.
Yeah, they're good.
Like what me and Michael talked about. I like the way they played in the preseason. Bro. Cat was driving to the basket.
Right. And I'll be honest, I mean, like, because people forget, Cat missed about 50 games last year, so I'm hoping that he can stay healthy for most of the year. And if he plays more than half the season, I think they're going to be better than what they were last year.
No, for sure. I think maybe that kind of factored in a little bit, but I just don't see number 2.
No, not 2.
I see number 2. And then last topic for the night, we're gonna go over the Southwest Division preview next week when Michael gets back. And we're gonna start the show with that unless something crazy happens this week in the NBA. But we're gonna finish off the division when Michael comes back for the next show. So all of us, so we all can get our takes. This was Hoops Hype. They came out with their top 15 players in the NBA. Just want to get mixed reaction to this.
I brace myself, man.
All right, so we got Jokic, Luka, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Embiid, Curry, SGA, KD, Booker, AD, Anthony Edwards, Jimmy Butler, Ja Morant, Damian Lillard, Kawhi Leonard.
Actually, I want to say I saw this the other day. I want to say it was posted like maybe like 2-3 days ago. Obviously, I'm going to make changes. I mean, they got number 1 right. I think currently Jokic is the best player in basketball right now, so I don't think that there should be argument with that. I personally still have Giannis ahead of Luka. I mean, Luka's great, you know, and Luka's only going to get better, but I don't know if he's in that tier yet with Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis as of yet. Like maybe once he wins the MVP, then we can have that conversation. But right now, you know, he's like a tier below as of right now. So yeah, I got Jokic, I got Giannis. I'll put in B3. I'll be honest, bro. I mean, I still think Bron got to be up there. I know that he's 38 in year 21, but I still think, especially with the year that he had last year and being one of the leading factors in leading the team to the conference finals last year, I think he's got to be up there in that list. I know they got swept, but I mean, come on, man. So I would say Bron 4. I'll say that's the thing too, because even Steph still shows that he's still one of the best players in basketball. So I don't know, man. Luka might fall out of this top 5 as crazy as it is. I'll have Steph right there behind Bron. I'll say Luka 6. The whole Jason Tatum and Devin Booker thing, it's kind of hard for me to see who's better. I mean, I think they're both really great scorers. I think Tatum, at least when Tatum's engaged, I think he might be a slightly better defender than Booker. Not saying that Booker can't defend, but he's not really known for his defense. I'll probably take Tatum over Booker right now. So that puts Tatum at 7. That puts, oh my God, I forgot about KD too. I'll put Booker at 8. I'll put KD at 9 right there. 10 is tough because I want to put AD, which I will probably put AD at number 10 just because, I know that there's always been questions regarding his health and him staying on the floor, but I think in this past playoffs, AD showed that when he is healthy, he can be one of the best players in basketball. We saw what happened in that game 6 against Memphis when he had 5 or 6 blocks and really, really being a defensive anchor in that game. Then leading to game 1 against Golden State where he had 30 points to 23 rebounds. So, I mean, AD still shows that, whenever he is engaged, that, that he can still be one of the best players in basketball. So I'm going to put AD in that 10. And then you have the other guys right after that. I'll probably say Ja, or maybe not Ja. I'll say Dame 11. Damian Lillard at 11. Ant-Man at 12. Actually, no. Jimmy at 12. Ant-Man at 13. I guess Ja at 14. And then I'll probably put Kawhi at 15. So that'll round up my 15.
Yeah, to me, LeBron is a top 15 player in the league, man. They got LeBron at 16. Who's hype? It's just
That's crazy.
It just goes back to my point saying earlier. It's just for the clicks, bro. It's no way you're telling me you watch basketball and understand the game of basketball. And even year 21 and 39, there's just no way you're telling me this guy's not a top 15 player in the world. So you just can't make an argument for it. You can't even use age. Man was averaging 38 and 8 before he got hurt. Led his team to the Western Conference Finals, appearance. Had 40 in the elimination game. What do we?
Nah, it's funny because I don't know if you've seen this video, but I think the Lakers page, they ended up posting a video of somebody telling LeBron he was now the oldest player in basketball. And then the next clip was him throwing a tomahawk one hand, bro. It's crazy.
Again, there's no way you understand the game of basketball and you're saying, yeah, this guy's not a top 15 player in the league. It's impossible, bro. Who's hype? No real disrespect to those guys because that's what they're trying to do. But it's just come on, man. Damn, bro. Damn. You put LeBron at 16. You know, once the playoffs start, you want to compare stars on who you think could help lead your team to a championship. It's only about maybe 4 other guys that's in that conversation.
I'm about to say him and Steph are right there.
Steph, Jokic, Giannis.
Jokic is there. KD.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Hey, that's it. To those other guys, and from a talent standpoint and projection, get all that. But, and again, it's not just LeBron's dirt in the regular season, then kicks up in the post. No, bro, he was averaging 38 and 8, 28.
He averaged that's what I'm saying. He averaged 29 and maybe 9 assists this year.
Yeah, so
at 37.
What the 3% down a little bit? Yeah. But again, he wasn't 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just this doesn't make sense to me, man. How do you not have this man as a top 15 player in going into next season. I don't care how old he is. He's still playing at a high level. It's just cringe, man. It's just cringe.
Nah, it's crazy.
All right, man. That wraps up the show for today. We appreciate everybody tuning in, stopping by. Nick is back, man. Let us know what you got going on for the love of the game.
Yes, sir. First and foremost, man, follow us on all platforms, MNC Hoops, at MNC Hoops on X, Instagram. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe on all platforms that you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, anywhere that you listen to the podcast, and make sure you give us 5-star reviews because I think that we are deserving of that. As for myself, follow me on X and Instagram at Nick Andre ATR. Make sure to check out For the Love of the Game. Follow the X page at Love of TGB Ball. Make sure to subscribe on Apple, Spotify as well. So I got some NBA previews on the way starting tomorrow, which is now we're starting with the Brooklyn Nets with my guy Peter. Shout out to Peter, who was a guest on the show. And then we have a few more, then we have a few more after that. Man. So just make sure to stay tuned.
Yes, sir. You guys can find me on X at CJames9_. We got the hard count every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, covering all things NFL. CJ versus the World, my gaming page on YouTube. Going to be live on Thursday for 2K League event that they got going on 2K24. So check me out there and on my other platforms, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yes, sir. Deuces.